I'm happy to call our theory pretty much all but confirmed.
Yeah, the theory being that Cipher is being controlled by that person in the pod, who's probably Ethan Slater's character Godolkin himself.
Thomas Godolkin.
Yeah, it'd be weird if it was one of the mates.
We get a couple of pieces of evidence this episode. The main one from last episode is that Cipher can control people like a marionette puppet, despite not having any Compound V in his system. And then this episode, he stabs himself through the hand, seemingly feeling no pain, / not caring about his body. Apart from he might be having shakes and liquids all the time, either because Thomas Godolkin doesn't like the feeling of his puppet taking a shit, or because he wants to keep him healthy and they're actually health drinks.
Yeah, and
Probably
it probably
that
is that. Or it's like it's not pleasurable to be eating, but then not actually feeling full.
Oh, potentially. Yeah, it's like a weird disconnect where he can't really... maybe he can't enjoy the food.
Maybe.
Fun stuff.
Or just to be quick.
Efficiency.
Neither of us can enjoy this.
He's busy. Because Polarity gets a Wagyu steak, and you do not pass up a Wagyu steak whenever possible.
6 months earlier.
But we also have him having sex with Sister Sage, who appears in this episode again for some reason.
They're plotting something together. If you remember, our problem with that character, well, not that character, the writing of that character, it played perfectly fine, was not clever, just simply read the scripts.
Yes, it's the genius character we've seen a million times at the moment, like Boy Cavalier from Alien Earth, says, I'm really clever, I'm the smartest man. And she actually gets hyped up as the smartest person on the Earth and still doesn't do anything smart. This episode still doesn't, but you can at least believe that she's with Thomas Godolkin because he's also a genius.
Yeah, we did the eye shit when they're having sex with him in the room.
And he was the only one watching, so it's like, and she was looking at him, so there's a connection there. So it definitely feels like she wants to fuck Thomas Godolkin, or Tube Boy at the very least, but not Cipher.
Jordan was saying, you're in pain, which would obviously make sense. And then the horrifying thing of, I was fully aware, I just couldn't control. It's not like I go away and I've blacked out.
Which means Cipher's in there somewhere.
So whoever Cipher is has been potentially, either he's a willing participant for the good of Godolkin, or he's someone who is a normal person who has been,
Yeah, well, you can assume maybe not on board with the cause because doesn't have Compound V in their system.
Yeah.
So they are a human. They've just been puppeteered for some reason. They must have worked on his team or something.
I don't like too much that we have to think about other characters, like, is Homelander in on whatever she's up to? But probably not.
It seems like they're trying to kill Homelander, or at least he won't be happy about what they're doing, is all we get an allusion to. But yeah, I'd say theory confirmed as far as all of Thomas Godolkin's stuff goes, because it seems relatively airtight. Like, it would have to be a bit of a curveball now, because everything they've set up makes sense. I think I'm happy with that reveal, because they haven't outright said it. They did the things like Sister Sage, keeping his eyes open, and she, as a genius, would be attracted to a genius, not to body.
Doesn't feel like they're dragging it out like I think a lot of people suspected that. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was probably not there for a good few weeks, because Butcher was going crazy anyway.
Right. I'd totally forgotten the plot of season 4, but yes, it was a lot less of a mystery than actually building this mystery here. I was worried about Sister Sage for a little bit there, because The Boys does have a tendency not to become one of those reviewers, but to be like, all men are secretly masochistic simps or like weak men. Like, they all want to have their balls stepped on. We just came off Tech Night, off The Boys Series 4, where he's like, and like Huey being degraded constantly.
My least favourite plot line was that Huey had the worst few weeks of his life and then still gets berated by his partner because she's actually had it worse. I know your dad died and you got raped by a childhood hero, but you didn't know it wasn't me. What else was going on in your mind at the time? Your dead dad and your hero raping you? That's not an excuse.
It's a hard life being Huey. It sucks, but I hope that doesn't come back. But it did feel like that for a little bit, where the genius Thomas Godolkin is like, yes, smack me around. But then they get away from that. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. That's the thing we've been saying. The Boys / Gen V every now and then is like, remember, we're R18.
It feels, it's the most R18 thing.
I guess it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like, you do want them to push boundaries because, like, they can, and no one else is doing it, so you might as well at least try it and be like, The next huge thing in this episode was Marie's powers are whatever the plot needs / have completely changed.
I guess she was taking their life force energy.
was controlling all the blood in the room.
Because she was doing it for the first time, everyone was being affected.
Potentially, because basically, season 1, she had Victoria Newman's power, where she could bloodbend, she could explode people, because that's what Victoria was doing. Victoria was grabbing their blood and making it do what she's did in earlier episodes this season.
But they gave her, like, the eye effect, didn't they?
Yeah,
like,
whereas Marie doesn't have it. So I guess technically their powers have always been a little different, but they've gone from bloodbending to... You can now heal people because she heals her sister Annabeth.
Closes the wound and everything.
Which is, I mean, again, sure, it just does feel a little bit like we've introduced her as being the chosen one suddenly this season as a secret weapon, and now she has like extra normal powers. It might be fine. It just really was like a bit of a 5-footer of an episode. So basically, they get kidnapped.
Yeah.
And then she suddenly has these powers immediately. It feels too rushed, I think.
Yeah, because the setup is we have to go save Kate because of her trying to frame or get Cipher. It's like, off you go to the gulag.
To set a precedent, basically, of don't fuck with me. And Elmira sucks. Like, they don't fuck around with those scenes. Like, it's immediately the prison, strip off, search her. That's all very well acted by her as well. Like, it's a harrowing sequence of just like, everything is shitty in Elmira, which is good to see now because that's what we were missing from the start of the season.
One thinks where we're going to get the first episode of them in prison, breaking out, reset for episode 2.
Yeah, showing the reason it sucked so much because they're all like, oh, I don't want to go back, I'd rather die, like this really sucks, but we only had them talking about it to each other.
But who knows? I mean, we get slight, like that Hershey-Harry flashback with the guard who nipped himself shaving and that's how she got out.
Which to me seems very X-Men 2. Like, you've got some more iron in your blood. Like, wouldn't they not let that happen?
But wasn't it also meant to be that it doesn't dampen their powers, it buzzes them whenever they use their powers?
They have to press a button to buzz them.
Oh, so it's not even an automatic.
Correct.
How convenient.
It's not X-Men where they have their powers negated, which I prefer, because I've always hated that about X-Men, where they're like, put this collar on, your magic powers don't work.
I guess also you'd have to have a specialist room for every single power type.
Which I would love as a little nerd boy, Magneto's plastic prison. I love that shit. Whereas
it's a great concept.
Mystique had to add extra iron to his blood. Bit stupid. It's a comic book movie. What do you expect? But like she had to do something for it to happen. They wouldn't expect that. And I think even when he walks through the metal detector, it beeps and they search him and they're like, oh.
It's my favorite sequence because you have this... God, we're going to talk about it. It's my favorite... Because of like this whole fantastic facility falls apart because he has free marbles, basically. Is why that's interesting.
Because he's a god.
Basically, I like when they limit him to just being a metal bender because it makes for more interesting sequences.
Yeah.
Whereas if he's just basically telekinesis, then it's less interesting.
Like when he can walk on the flat metal sheets.
Flip the poles of the earth or whatever. Like they go bigger and bigger where the smaller stuff is more interesting.
And then he's like, oh no, the Sentinel's made of plastic for some reason.
Yeah.
But I love that shit. They do it a little bit because Little Cricket gets her cell and it's kind of like a glass or like a plastic tub.
I thought that there's now cracks for her to sneak through.
If she shrinks, there's no way out. And if she gets too big, I assume it's stronger than her. So I'm like, that's clever. They could have done that with everyone. I guess most powers might not need it.
Time, money, budget.
Yeah.
Both in world and in reality.
I'm glad they at least did it for her. That was cool. And I guess the other big reveal is that Andre was probably being controlled by Cipher and like forced. I don't think that was a reveal. That was more me inferring, I guess. Now that we know that he can force people to do stuff. He says to Polarity that Andre was part of an experiment. And it seems like Andre wouldn't have tried to neck himself by like breaking open a door. So he was probably taken over.
And Sister Sage just says you can't expect the same results again. Like, because he's like, oh, I've been wanting them back in here. So it's like all the last 3 episodes have been him roughly playing them to get them in this situation. These people are extremely famous. Like they're the number one, like the rankings that have been mentioned, the number 1, the number 2, and the social media following one. Extremely famous. So how do you...
The Boys is all about media manipulation though. So they'll probably spin it and be like, oh, they went on a holiday.
They went on a mission or something.
They've proven they can deep fake them. Yeah.
I guess I was a bit disappointed that we've already broke the... I was enjoying like Little Cricket's little crew and all that stuff. And I guess... I think, it's just one of those where it was scratching that itch of like school drama.
Yeah, I mean, the same reason most animes are incredibly popular because they're a little bit cozy. Like,
yeah, exactly.
even JJK that's crazy, he's still got to go to a little magic school. I mean, that's fun.
And then, of course, we get
Sam again.
How do we keep Superman out of the plot? Because he'll break it.
Because he's crazy and it's hereditary.
Oh, my, granddad, uncle, or whatever?
His uncle Rick, and his last name is Riordan, so Rick Riordan, the writer of Percy Jackson.
Did they do that on purpose?
I don't know. It's just a name, but when I heard Rick Riordan, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sam is crazy. He goes home to his parents to reconnect. He
has one of those arcs, like the rebuild.
Yeah, it's a nice little B story, but when your A story is so like time sensitive, everything's going wrong, it is weird to have this guy fucking around.
You gave me and my brother Compound V. Schwarzenegger, Patrick Schwarzenegger, his brother, was set up to be the new Homelander. He had the firepower, but was only getting stronger because they were siphoning blood out of him into him, and they told the parents that he had actually died. They then see Golden Boy explode and kill himself, only for then their son they thought was dead was actually alive the whole time.
Again, media manipulation.
What a weird thing for those poor parents.
Oh, their life sucks. And the mum comes around again by this. That's what I mean. It's a sweet little story. But that was episode 5. It definitely is like the little hump, because we don't do all that much this episode.
I think this and a lot of modern TV is just taking too long. Like whatever momentum this show might have had dissipates when we, in this massive consumer culture where it's a new hot streaming show every week almost, this Gen V just kind of got lost. I mean, I think that's probably my main problem, is that I reckon whoever is discovering the show now and going straight into season 2 is probably having a great time because the momentum's building and building. I
binged season 1. I was late to season 1, binged it. It was incredible. I knocked it out in like a day or 2.
Yeah.
So...
And then Polarity, not Magneto, is having more brain hemorrhages because he's using his powers.
Yeah, that's pretty much his story. I guess, again, not sure if to knock him out of the plot or whether it's more time sensitivity. We've got 3 episodes left still, and they're all 45 to an hour.
So we have to have some kind of prison break.
Yeah, we're doing something, because obviously this was a planned prison break to trick them. So we're back where we started.
Sarah, I was watching it with, who's kind of been half watching this, said the one thing she really likes about the boys, and particularly Gen V, she wanted to highlight, was the fact that like most of the cast is girls, like is not at all shoved in the faces. Like we all like the whole girls get it done. How that was a more fun, earnest moment with those characters than it was with the don't worry, she's got backup of Avengers Endgame. And she said, they do really well with the fact that, yes, characters have to be female, and that's really the end of it. There's not really much more to it.
It's technically everyone in the core cast is female. Jordan
one
is
of them
half the time.
Yeah.
But, you don't really notice it. You don't think about it.
I said that. I said, yeah, you're right. It didn't occur to me that most of the core cast is female.
It's well done. And they all have agency. They all have their own shit going on.
Yeah. And they're all really likable, I find. They're all fundamentally likable.
Yeah, the whole cast is. I think that's carrying it for me. It's just a nice show. But yeah, what did you guys think? Do you agree with that theory?
Surely. What else could it be?